you doing, Final Wordians? My name is Lee Boy. You're listening and watching Lee's Final Word. Thank you for tuning in. Today is Flash Day. Okay, you already know it's Flash Day. But before we get into this video, let's get into. If you like this video, hit the comment section below. Hit that liking button and don't forget to subscribe. All right, don't forget to share it on social media if you're into that. A share goes a long way. Help spread the news and spread the word about Lee's Final Word on social media. But let's get into it. This is gonna be a review of the latest episode of The Flash. Now, been a hot topic here on my channel, and also it's been a hot topic on the internet. The Flash has been going crazy. Okay, now this episode was actually directed by Tom Cavanaugh. That's right, H.R. Wells, H.R. AKA Harrison Wells, the doppelganger. The episode was called The Once and Future Flash. Okay, based off the Mark Waid run when he was dealing with Wally West, the original Gingerhead Wally, who was the Flash at the time. It was about the Reverse Flash faking himself and pretending to be Barry Allen. This is talking about something totally different. The Flash went into the future and tried to get results on who is Savitar. But there's going to be some spoilers ahead, so I'm just warning you. Also, if you haven't seen it, this is a great way to catch up on it. Let's get into it. The episode starts off with Barry figuring out he needs to get to the year 2024 because everything makes sense, because at that point in time, he should have already defeated Savitar. All right. Again, Abracadabra gave that away. But if you noticed something that happens later on, he noticed that he needs to get to the year 2024. He figures it out. He speaks to Iris about it. She promises, or she tells him rather, to promise that whatever happens, to take care of Joe. He promises that he'll do that, and that's never going to change. Meanwhile, back at Star Labs, Caitlin Snow is giving everybody hell. Julian tries to actually pick up the necklace and you know, in some kind of way, basically try to see, well, if I can salvage this necklace, they can get rid of Killer Frost. Not gonna happen. Nope. You know, and she also tried to bait him with a kiss, you know, but then that didn't work. She tossing people around, and it's funny how, you know, you become somebody else. Caitlin Snow turns into Killer Frost, and all of a sudden she's the poster girl for Maybelline. You know, she instant lip, instant mascara. You know, nobody ever pointed that out. Like, she just went from being, you know, she went from being Caitlin Snow to Killer Frost and had instant mascara and a hair change. Okay. Anyway, when they start running, she's chasing them down. They hide in the vault, but she's still able to get in, and she damn near freezes them to death. Flash shows up to try to stop them, you know, and she doesn't want to stop being Killer Frost. She's at the point of no return, it seems like, that she's going to be Killer Frost, and Flash figures that out. But before all that, he says, you know what, I have to go back into the past. He enlists the help of Kid Flash, you know, telling him, look, we can do this. You're fast enough to help me do this. He travels to the future. Now, what's this thing about throwing people? You know what I mean? Like, I'm honestly, every time you see them do this, somebody's getting tossed. And it looks like Kid Flash had a chip on his shoulder, because the way he tossed Barry was funny as hell. Like, Barry did a front flip into the damn Speed Force wormhole, you know, ended up in the year 2024, but February the 3rd. Now, I know a lot of you guys were talking about this newspaper thing, with the newspaper talking about it being April. That was actually the time that the newspaper was printed, you know, as far as him vanishing and stuff like that. But guess what? They did this purposely, because in April of that same year, 2024, the Reverse Flash shows up, and they have this epic battle, and he goes missing. So he's in the right year that's in timeline with the newspaper, but in that timeline, Reverse Flash shows up, and that's where everything goes crazy. And that happens in April. That's a couple of months off from February the 3rd, all right? Now, he meets and runs into Top. You know, just so happens he runs into Top and Mirror Master. You know, she controls him and makes him see Vertigo, and then Mirror Master shows up. They just start kicking and beating him up, but he gets out of that. He winds up finding Cisco and they reunite. Cisco is so happy. Cisco takes him to Star Labs, because Barry's like, look, I need to see future me because I got questions to ask him. He runs into future me, and crazy thing is, right here you could tell he got pissed off because the little timeline thing that he had, he was crossing off events that he changed. There's a big crack in the damn glass. So he runs into Barry, and Barry, well, future Barry, let me say it that way. Future Barry talks to him and stuff like that, and future Barry is like, man, just go home. You're not gonna be fast enough to save nobody. And then Barry's like, well, who was the Savitar? Future Barry's like, man, I don't even know. It's messed up. So Barry tries to run, he can't, and then Cisco is telling him the story about how he lost his hands battling Caitlin Snow, excuse me, Killer Frost. Damn. Okay, we actually thought we saw this episode play out, the fight between them two, when Cisco had that vibe, that vision of them fighting, but nah, that wasn't it. It was really this with the damn hands bursting, you know what I'm saying, disintegrating. And then, Cisco shows Barry his Darth Vader impression and gives him the old metal hand thing. Like, this is my hands, baby. This is it. You know what I mean? Then he goes meets Julian. He goes starts checking on people. He actually goes visits Caitlin, and Caitlin reveals to him that in a way that, guess what? I know Savitar, but I'm not gonna tell you. And you're gonna be surprised. You're gonna be shocked to find out who this guy is. Okay. We'll get to that later on who this episode hints Savitar could be, which is crazy. Anyway, but we'll keep moving on. Then Barry makes his way over to Wally. Wally, he let his hair grow out. You know what I'm saying? He said he was tired of wearing, the flat top. So he let the afro come in. He said he was taking it back to the 70s, but he not going to tell nobody because he can't talk because Savitar broke his back. You know what I'm saying? So he's just sitting up in the crib, watching SpongeBob all day. Um, but he got a fly wheelchair. You know what I'm saying? He got the handle. Like it's a 3-speed. Wheelchair. Wally's doing pretty all right for somebody that's not talking. I think he came out relatively okay than everybody else. I think so. So then Barry talks to him, but he really can't because Iris is dead, and it really messed up Wally. Wally went into a fit of rage, as Cisco pointed out, and tried to go after Savitar. And Savitar said, "I'm gonna break your damn back like Bane." Okay, and put him in a wheelchair. He basically Batmaned him. Next, Barry goes to visit Joe. He's just tying up all the loose ends, talking to everyone. He goes to see Joe, and of course, Joe is at the gravesite of Iris. And, Joe was like, yo, Barry, you broke your promise, man. You were supposed to, stay with me, and I lost you as a son. You don't come around, and now you choose to come around. But Joe didn't even know that was, past Barry being there. He thought he was talking to future Barry or his present day Barry. There's too many Barrys. Anyway, Barry goes back to speak to, himself in the cave, in the Time Vault cave, Time Vault place, or whatever. And he goes to speak to himself in the Time Vault, and he's just sitting there looking at old pictures of him and Iris. Like, he's really depressed. Like, killing Iris really messed him up. So he's all fit, he's all mad, and they wind up arguing with each other. And future Barry just lays it out on him, like, look, dude, you're not gonna be able to save her. When you go back, you're gonna make promises to Joe. You're not gonna be able to keep them. So let me just save you the headache right now. I'm gonna tell you everything that's gonna happen to you. Make the best that you can, or make the best of your moments with you and Iris, because them days is coming to an end. Because your man's gonna snatch up. All right. So Barry's tight. He wants to go back to his regular timeline because he's like, this guy, my future self, is a screw up. Funny how that works. Cisco finds a way to actually dampen Barry's powers and abilities to travel back because he wants him to stay. So it winds up becoming that Cisco and Barry come with this idea to round up the whole group and go out and fight Top and Mirror Master. But Mirror Master and Top are a lot more formidable this time around. They're, synchronizing their powers together, and they're overwhelming the Flash. This what makes future Barry come out of, I guess, retirement or, hiatus, and he takes the device that stops Mirror Master and Top to him, and he just shows up with that cool suit. That suit, oh man. Here's a picture of them both together standing side by side. The old suit, the 2017 2017 suit compared to the new suit that they're gonna be giving him, I guess, for the next season, which is Flames. That the suit is tough. Suit is really really tough. You know, just the way it looks in comparison to the other one. So they wind up taking down both of them. And again, that's another look at the suit. Barry's proud of himself. Whatever. And they get back Team Flash, but Barry is really like this is gonna take time to rebuild, but he does want it to happen. Then Barry, then future Barry tells him, about how to stop Savitar. If you find this lady, maybe she be able to help you because she doesn't create the Speed Force trap until 4 years after the death of Iris. So the whole point is, maybe if you find this lady, she can decode this, and then bam, you know, she's be able to help you. But she hasn't created it yet, so that's going to be a trippy kind of thing. We'll see how that goes in the next episode. We finally get a cut in scene. You know I live for that, CW. You know I live for that. We finally get an end scene of Caitlin Snow and the Snow. Killer. We finally get the end scene with Killer Frost. Traveling the snow barefoot with a pedicure, running through frolicking through the snowy forest, and she runs into Savitar. You know what I'm saying? And Savitar's like, finally, my child, I'm so glad. I want to make you free. And she's like, well, I don't want to go back to being Caitlin Snow. And he's like, oh, no. I want you to continue to be Killer Frost. She's like, well, what makes you think I'm going to trust you? And then this cat begins to go on his knees and starts to unlock his Savitar suit and then steps out. Okay, now, I definitely got to talk about this. Now, in this picture right here that I have, he has black hair. He does have black hair, and when I was watching it, it did look like he had like a sweater, some boots, and some jeans. Okay, so he didn't come out the Savitar suit butt ass naked. He actually had some clothes on, and right after he came out, Caitlyn's eyes lit up, and then she says, "Well, I'll do whatever you want, What do you know?" I think she says something like, "What do you need me to do?" And it's crazy because a lot of people are sitting there now thinking that Savitar could be Ronnie. Now, I'm not jumping on that bandwagon. I'm sorry. I am not jumping on the Ronnie is Savitar bandwagon. Hell to the no. Okay? I'm not. You CW not hitting me with the okie doke on this one. I'm not gonna sit here and believe after all of this time you made us wait for it to be Ronnie, Caitlyn's husband, to be Savitar. Because the reason why people are saying that, and I had some people telling me that, is because of the reaction that Caitlyn Snow gave, without a fuss or a fight, or without her even trying to belittle the other villain. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's a villain now, and it's like, I don't need anyone's help. You know what I'm saying? But what would make her, as Killer Frost, be like, yo, I do want to align myself with this person. And the only person that people feel capable about seeing that she would do it with is Ronnie. But I don't think it's Ronnie. Listen, you're not getting me. You're not getting me on the Ronnie bandwagon. Hell to the no. You guys can keep that one. I'm not. See where CW is going with this. They're gonna hit us with Bob from the mailroom. I'm telling you that right now. It's Bob from the damn mailroom. Okay, Bob from the mailroom, who's been sitting there for years. Or maybe it's the janitor at Star Labs. It's the Star Labs janitor. That's who Savitar is. You never see him. He's mad because nobody gave him some airtime. Okay, but anyway, Can't wait to see next week's episode of The Flash because we finally get the reveal of who Savitar is. It's gonna be revealed next week who Savitar is on the episode called "I Know Who You Are." All right, and on that episode, we're gonna finally get everything done. I just want to point this out to you guys. I just hope that they make this worthwhile. We waited a long time for something good, and for them to sit there and try to play us, oh man, with this long overdrawn review. Excuse me, this long overdrawn wait. You know what I'm saying? Because even when Barry asks, future Barry, do you know who Savitar is? He drew that out, and he was like, I don't know who he is. I'm like, you really gonna make us wait another week? My name is Lee Boy. You guys hit the comment section below. Tell me what you think. Do you think it's Ronnie? You know what I'm saying? I mean, who do you think it is now that they did this? You know what I mean? Is Barry gonna go and enlist that lady's help? You know what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch of questions and stuff like that that need some answers, all right? And if it's Ronnie, how can it be? How can it be Ronnie? I'm not going. That's the rumor that's going around, and I'm not going to be with it. All right. Again, my name is Lee Boy. Hit the comment section below. Tell me how you feel. Hit that liking button, and don't forget to subscribe. And this has been a good episode of the Flash. Too bad we didn't get the reveal tonight, but guess what? We'll get it next week, and I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out. Peace.